Nearly everyone is on social media, from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. We have never been more connected to one another than we are right now.
But to say social media is problematic is an understatement. Chances are you have dabbled with all of those filters on your photos or videos, and although they can be fun, they're far from harmless.
That's right. Here to talk a little bit more about that is licensed clinical psychologist Dr. Cheryl Ziegler. Dr. Ziegler, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, we've all used these filters. Now we're kind of learning about some of the harmful consequences of doing so.
Yeah, and there are quite a few, and people are researching it because it's really significant. So one of the things that, of course, concerns me is that all ages and both genders, all genders are affected by this. However, teen girls seem to be the most affected. So just at that time where they're trying to figure out who they are, what they look like, when you play with filters and then you start posting yourself on filters, you want to actually look like that. And so then that trickles to low self-esteem, sometimes anxiety, depression, a feeling like there's this unrealistic beauty standard, and well, I can look like that on a filter. Why can't I look like that in real life? And so that sets up a kid to even be more isolated and lonely. So it's a really big impact in terms of, oh, I want to look like that, and then, oh, how does it make me feel? And then for adults, I'm sure we've all heard of this, they bring in their filtered version of themselves to plastic surgeons, to dermatologists, and say, I want to look like this. And this is where we start to get really concerned, because it's just something made up. It's not real. And that's what we have to keep remembering.
It's so unrealistic and unattainable what some of these filters are doing. And who is the most impacted? Is it younger girls?
Well, it's funny because when you're going through puberty is probably when you're most vulnerable to a lot of different things. So it's probably on the younger side of teen girls. And what happens is, so I'm going to filter myself. And it's not just a face filter. That definitely is part of it. But you can also totally change your body.
Right.
I have girls who will say, oh, do you see this picture of me? I made my thighs look smaller. And they just kind of like go like this and like this around their legs. They'll make their waist look a lot. So it then goes into some body dysmorphia. Because now it's, okay, it starts with my face. I want my face to look this way. Now, oh, I like my body to look this way.
Right.
Again, something unattainable, not realistic. And then they start to actually, truly start to develop body dysmorphia. We're seeing that growing at higher rates than ever before. And this definitely plays a role.
Yeah, we're living in a world where authenticity is almost pretty rare these days. And little kids are saying, you got to remember, when you look at a photo, there's a good chance there's a filter on that. And that's what little kids are saying, I should be looking like that. When we talk about dysmorphia, we're also learning about selfie dysmorphia. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so what happens is you start to take this picture of yourself and then you get fixated. That's what a dysmorphia is. It's a fixation. So all of us can say, oh, I gotta just touch up my hair, maybe powder my face. Dysmorphia says, what I am looking at is not what you're seeing. Right? So I see maybe something, I think I have the biggest nose, and I get really obsessed and fixated on it, where other people might say to me, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah,
like,
I love your nose.
Yeah, like I don't see it. And so it's not an opinion thing, right? It's not just like your opinion. It becomes in the mind of someone with any kind of dysmorphia, a true obsession and fixation, and you are absolutely convinced that there is something truly, truly wrong with some part of your body.
Cheryl, we're almost out of time, but I do want to ask you this last question. What is your advice? Maybe advice for parents or advice for younger people who are watching this who use these filters so that it doesn't change how we feel about ourselves?
Yeah, I think we have to really try to follow accounts and other people who will say that hashtag no filter. I also think that you can tell kids, if you're a parent, this is not real, that picture's not real. And you have to sort of say it to yourself over and over till you really believe that. And also really have that sense of, how do I feel when I follow this account or I see this picture? If you say to yourself, and you have to be honest, I don't feel great, I would suggest either unfollow them or just, mute them. See it a lot less, because really the accumulation of these images over time takes a toll.
Yeah, maybe challenge yourself to post those raw, unfiltered versions of yourself. Get used to that. Love yourself a little bit more.
Right.
Dr. Ziegler, thanks for coming in. Important topic. We appreciate it.